You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your weekly prediction edition. We are now 2 weeks into November sweeps, and things are really heating up on all the front burner storylines. And so based on official confirmed soap opera spoilers from CBS, as always, I have made 3 Y&R predictions for you. One is about Victor and Nate, another about Adam and Sally, and the third is about Heather, Daniel, and Lily. I'm going to unpack those for you right now, and I can't wait to hear your comments on these. Whether you agree, disagree, see it going in a different direction, drop your comments. It's a conversation, and I love talking soaps with you guys. If you haven't already, please reach down and click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Now let's jump right in. My first prediction, Victor fires Nate as a favor to Mamie. You are going to see on Tuesday that Victor fires Nate, but the prediction part is why he did it. Remember, it was Tucker who had financed Mamie getting her hands on those shares, but Victor actually set it all in motion because he's the one who sold his shares in Chancellor Winters. I don't know if he knew that Mamie was trying to make a move against Jill, but that's definitely what she is doing. So Mamie had asked Victor for the shares. Tucker bankrolled her. I'm not certain that Victor even knew Tucker was involved. Either way, since then, Mamie has told Tucker to step off and it's just her. And she has made it clear to Nate, Lily, and Devon that she wants them all working together at CW and she wants Jill gone. Lily and Devon, interestingly, are softening up on their opinion of Nate, which is a bad opinion, very deserved. He totally betrayed Chancellor Winters by reporting over to Newman when they were looking, doing merger stuff and all that. And still, at this point, they seem to actually think he's learned his lesson, but he has that job at Newman Enterprises. And when Mamie talked to him about coming back to Chancellor Winters, he's like, I have a good job at Newman. Except as of Tuesday, November 7th, he does not have a job at Newman. So why? So, Victor's gone down this path of faking some sort of debilitating and, degenerative mental condition. I personally think this plot's pretty contrived, not that well written, to be honest. But one thing is clear, Victor does not trust Nate and never will. He thinks Victoria is once again making a very poor choice in her romantic life. So I predict we're going to find out after the fact the motive that happened, maybe in one of those far too frequent giant black and white flashback scenes that I'm oh so tired of, that Mamie maybe asked Victor to fire Nate so that he will by default go back to CW, which that's a win-win for both Victor and Mamie. He wants Nate out at Newman Enterprises and a little space between him and Victoria, and she wants Nate over at Chancellor Winters to solidify the family's power base over there, working towards her end goal of chucking Jill Abbott to the wayside. And that's why I think Victor fired him. Maybe this whole mental scheme was to justify that one goal. I don't even know. It's nuts at this point. But that's why I think he fired him. We'll see how it plays out. My second prediction, Heather bunks up with Daniel at his apartment. Also on Tuesday on Young and the Restless, we're going to see Heather and Lucy Romalotti back in Genoa City. Lucy is really excited to see her dad Daniel and excited he got a new place where she's going to have a room there. The problem is that the place that he found for Heather and Lucy is not going to be ready for 6 whole weeks. And Daniel talked about how he has plenty of room there. Plus, Lucy's going to have a room there. She's going to be staying there for now. So I suspect Daniel may offer to let Heather stay at his place until her place is ready in 6 weeks, or maybe she can't find a temporary place and doesn't want to stay at the GCAC, or maybe Lucy says, maybe mom can stay here. Something's going to happen, I think, that she's going to wind up staying with Daniel. There is a spoiler for this week saying Daniel gives Lily mixed signals, and then later in the week, he tries to ply her with a romantic gesture. I don't think he's going to be able to romance his way out of Lily's anger if he does indeed ask his ex to move in with him. I mean, of course, Lily could ask Daniel to stay with her because she lives in the same building. She's living in Devon's old place. But with Christel Khalil's baby due any day now, still no confirmation that she's given birth on social media, but it's coming. That means Lily is exiting. If she leaves while Heather is under Daniel's roof, I definitely think all bets are off. I fully expect him to cross lines with Heather while Lily is gone out of town for business or however they explain her exit for her maternity leave. And Heather being under his roof in close proximity would make it much more tempting for him to stray. We'll see how it goes. My third prediction, Adam Newman may take a step back from Sally Spectra. Although they just slept together, Sally has counseled him, not to make too much of things. But in the end, Adam is just feeling really rotten right now as a human about what his dad is going through, supposedly, because Adam still thinks it's a real thing. And even worse, Adam thinks he is the one who pushed Victor towards this mental breakdown. He's blaming himself. So I just wonder if he might reconsider a lot of his recent life choices. Maybe Adam decides that he's just tainted and not worthy of love, not worthy of Sally. Clearly, the redhead right now is on the fence. Official spoilers for Tuesday the 7th have her talking with Chloe Mitchell. And this was a really interesting way to word this. Sally talks about wrapping herself in comfort, but it's really a straitjacket. That to me sounds like an analogy about her relationship with Nick, because he's supposedly this safe choice. He's comfortable to be with. He doesn't push her boundaries, but being with him puts her inside some confines, kind of like a straitjacket does, because I think she was worried about, some of the same things with Nick that Adam is worrying about. Like, is she good enough for him? Will she somehow embarrass him? Will being with her estrange him from the family? I think she felt like she wasn't quite worthy of his attention, and she wanted to fall in love with him, but she couldn't make herself love him. Despite Chloe saying on the next episode that she's happy for Sally as long as she's not with Adam, I definitely feel like that is where Sally's heart is leading her. She just needs to get her head wrapped around it, right? So it's kind of perfect timing if Adam says, I need to stop pushing people. I've pushed my dad to the breaking point. Maybe I've pushed Sally too far. Maybe I need to take a step back just a bit because of kind of all the drama going on in his life with his father's fakery. And, even once he finds out that it is fake, I still think he might be the reason for this. Maybe he just pushed Victor to extremes. I actually would like to see Adam take not a big step back from her, maybe one step back. And that would push Sally into a position to take one step forward towards him if she wants to be with him. Because as it is now, the power dynamic in what they have is really skewed, because he has been begging her and pleading with her and telling her how much he loves him. And she's like, no. And then they slept together. And I just feel like they talked about this on Seinfeld years ago. I don't know if you guys remember the conversation on Seinfeld about who has hand in the relationship, who controls the relationship, who has hand. And I think it was George talked about, you never want to give up hand. And right now, Sally has hand. I don't want Adam to have hand either. I don't want him to be in the power position of the relationship, nor do I want her to be. I think they need to be on equal footing. And, otherwise it's just not a long-term recipe for success, because Adam doesn't like to feel trapped and neither does she. They need that equal footing. Neither of them needs to have hand. So that's why I think he needs to take a step back, and I hope he takes a step back, and then I think they can step forward together. That's my prediction. That's what I'm hoping. I'm a big Adam Sally shipper. You guys know that. Hey, drop your comments below on these predictions, whether you agree or disagree or have a different idea. I love to read your comments. I read them all. Thank you guys so much for engaging and discussing Y&R here with me every day. I'm here 7 days a week talking soaps with you guys. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this, and come back soon for more on Young and the Restless. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.